Hi, my name is Jennifer Mullen, and I am running for the office of Alderman in the city of Rutland. I was born and raised in Rutland, and have spent the majority of my 26 years in the Rutland community. Currently, I am the office manager at Vermont Roots, a distributor of Vermont-made specialty food products located on Route 7. As a newcomer to the political field, I feel that the city needs new blood. My main concerns are that a great majority of residents close to my age have chosen to leave Rutland and take up residence elsewhere due to the lack of a promising future. Where will Rutland be in 10 or 15 years if this trend continues? As a city, we need to look into the future and work together. In 1990, I left Rutland to pursue my higher education in Massachusetts, returning in 1994 for a position in my career field. After 4 months of working at that position, I was told that I was no longer needed. Something kept me in Rutland. I wasn't sure what it was until 3 months ago when I started considering running for this position and talking to the residents of this community. I got some great feedback, some comments, concerns, as well as some support. First and foremost is the youth of Rutland. And that is going to start with jobs. Both Tambrians and more business firms have closed their doors in the past few months, taking with them several hundred jobs. This pattern cannot continue. The 4 largest employers in the city of Rutland have been downsizing and not hiring any younger people. This also must stop. We need to keep these businesses here, as well as attract new ones. And that is going to stem from transportation problems. I will work hard with Montpelier as well as with my fellow board members to lift the 53-foot truck ban that goes through Woodstock. I will also support a bypass. This is an exciting time for Rutland. For the first time in 12 years, we're electing a new mayor. I will work in a bipartisan way with fellow board members and the new mayor to do everything possible to keep Rutland City the way it is. The Rutland Partnership has done a great job with downtown Rutland. Downtown is the hub of Rutland. It's been great. We need to keep it that way. Transportation again, the railroads. We need to make best use of the railroads as we possibly can. A bike path. I am a supporter of the bike path. It's a great way to get families out during the weekends, and it will also attract new people to the area. Several different routes for this bike path have been mentioned. I will choose the one that best suits the community, as well as the one that is most environmentally sound. In closing, if you need to reach me to voice your comments or concerns, please feel free to call me. The future of Rutland is in Rutland. Let's go after it and work together for the younger generation.
Hello, I'm Paul Barbagallo. I am currently a member of the Board of Aldermen in Rutland City. You elected me to this position 2 years ago, for which I am very thankful. I am now running for re-election to this board. I have attended every meeting the last 2 years, and I will do so in the future. I have attended every meeting of any committee that I was assigned to this year, and I have had the honor of being chairman of the General Committee and chairman of the Liquor Control Committee. I am also a member of several other committees, Public Works and Finance, to name a few. This isn't working. Rutland has turned around in the last 10 years in becoming the city that makes all the right moves. What was a ghost town in the downtown area 10 years ago has now become the showcase downtown in Vermont. This forward move continues with the opening shortly of the multimodal transit center and parking garage, the opening of the train station, and at the beginning of the new century, January 2000, the scheduled reopening of the jewel of downtown, the Paramount. There are still other projects planned, of which I would like to be a part of. I will also ask for your support of two bond issues on this year's ballot, the police bond and the City Hall renovation bond. You have let us know we do not need a brand-new police station. An existing building, preferably downtown, is your desire, and I agree. However, for this to happen, you have to approve the police bond. Then the police department will move out of City Hall into a building located at 108 Wales Street, across the street from their present location. This building, while in excellent structural shape, needs to be conformed to a proper police facility. This, of course, brings up the total cost of the bond. Approve the bond March 2nd, and approximately a year and a half later, the police department vacates City Hall for its new location. The day after they leave, we turn our attention to upgrading and renovating City Hall. Of course, this bond also has to be approved to allow this to happen. While Wales Street is being conformed, we are in the planning stages of City Hall. I, for one, will do my best to see that this happens. No delays, no we'll get to it. You approve the funds, we'll make it happen. Remember, I work for you, and I will continue to work in your best interests. I will attempt to see that every penny you pay is spent wisely and efficiently. If you take care of the pennies, the dollars take care of themselves. In closing, I would like to thank Channel 15 for allowing myself and the other candidates to express our views and opinions, and always ready to listen to your input on any subject. Please go to the polls March 2nd and vote. If you can't make it to the polls, call City Hall and obtain an absentee ballot. They'll be more than happy to send you one. However you do it, vote on March 2nd. You control Rutland's destiny. Thank you for listening, and I hope that you will vote on March 2nd.
First, I would like to express my appreciation for Channel 15 for this airtime to bring myself before the public city of Rutland. I am Robert Stafford. I'm retired. I was a former businessman, and with my wife, Catherine, for more than 26 years. As I stood in my living room window the other day, and I was looking out across the field, it came to me that what we had done in the past 10 or 12 years to revitalize the city and downtown. First of all, after we got to Bob Breckner, with the who was the manager of the mall, and he saw the light need to develop the mall. From that time on, things began to fall into place. We were able to obtain the Amtrak train service, rail service, and we now built a railroad station for it. We have got a new college in downtown. We've got a parking deck, which is about ready to open, and the Paramount Theater, I understand, is ready to start interior renovations in another month. We owe a lot of credit to all of these people who've taken part in that, especially the Redevelopment Authority, the Merchants Association, the mayor, the Board of Aldermen, and all the department heads who have just congregated together, put their energies in one spot, and brought this about. It is a remarkable decision to have been made, and furthermore, it has not, as of yet, cost the city taxpayers 1 cent, not even 1 cent, toward this revitalization. It has brought our tax base up, and it is helping us in many ways. We have 2 projects left. We have more than 2, but the 2 that are principal ones now are the police barracks, new police facilities. I have personally been through the building, and it is in very good shape, and I've also looked at the layout that would be laid out inside for the police facilities. They all seem to be adequate, that would be adequate for at least another couple of centuries. But then we've got City Hall. We've got City Hall, which needs renovations from the roof to the foundation. And I would like to see the voters of Rutland pass both of these articles at the next election. We do have other things that are coming up that are a necessity, such as traffic problems on North and South Main Street. And I hope that you folks would all take into consideration when you go to vote this fall or this spring. Thank you very much for listening to me and presenting the problems. If you have any questions, I thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Allaire, and I am a candidate for re-election to a 2-year term on your Rutland City Board of Aldermen. I would like to thank Channel 15 for giving me the opportunity to come in tonight and speak with you about some of the reasons I'm running again, and also to tell you a little bit about myself and my family. To begin with, I am proud to say I'm a lifelong resident of the city of Rutland. I was born in the old Rutland Hospital down on Nickel Street and spent the next 25 years residing on. I attended Catholic schools, Christ the King and Mount St. Joseph Academy, graduating in 1974. Later, I attended Castleton State College. For the last 20 years, I have lived and worked in Rutland, got married, and started a family, and presently reside with my wife and 2 children, Lori and Ryan. It is my firm belief that we are all very lucky to live in such a great place as the city of Rutland. I chose to stay here and raise a family because I believe in Rutland, and I think our best days are still ahead of us. I decided to get involved last year for a variety of reasons. First of all, I supported many of the initiatives coming out of City Hall and also the general direction we were heading. I believe the city is fortunate to have so many bright and forward-looking people in positions of authority, and I only hope to be a small part of the overall picture. This year, for the first time in 12 years, we will be electing a new mayor. In addition, we will have at the very least 2 new members of the Board of Aldermen. I congratulate Mayor Wenberg on his tenure. I believe we are much better off because of his leadership, and I wish him well in all his future endeavors. With your help, I would like to continue working for you on the board. There are many issues facing us today, as well as many exciting things happening in the city of Rutland. First of all, I support the continuing revitalization of downtown. We must be ever vigilant in our efforts to promote ourselves and have downtown Rutland a destination point for all in central Vermont. On that basis, I support the Paramount Theater and look forward to its opening at the beginning of next year. And I will encourage the city to continue its support so that the Paramount will be a focal point and drawing card for downtown Rutland. In addition, over the next few weeks, our new train station will open, as well as the multimodal transit center, which will hopefully alleviate some of our parking woes in downtown Rutland. I am also proud to say that I support our Rutland City Police Department, as well as all the departments working for the City of Rutland. In that regard, I will support the scaled-back bond issues which will be on the March ballot. I encourage the voters to seriously consider the merits of these bond issues because I believe these problems won't go away and will only cost more in the future. The police department needs a new building to work out of, and I believe this is the best solution to this problem. Also, anyone who's been in City Hall knows the condition of that building, and I believe we need to start addressing this issue as soon as possible. Also, if I'm reelected, I will continue to monitor spending, and when budget time comes, will do my best to keep the tax rate at its lowest possible level, while continuing to provide the services that we have all come to expect and we all deserve. Finally, I would like to thank you, the voters of the City of Rutland, for the confidence you showed in me last March in my first run for elective office. It's been a challenging and rewarding year. I look forward to the next 2 years, but I can't do it without your help. So I encourage everyone, no matter who you vote for, to go out and cast your ballot. Your vote does make a difference. Thank you and good night.
Hello, Rutland voters. My name is Howard Cobb, and I am one of the many candidates for an aldermanic position here in Rutland. I hope when you exercise that unbelievably rare franchise of voting, and I hope many of you do, that you will consider me for one of those spots. I'm a native of Rutland. I grew up here. I was schooled at Lincoln, Meldon, Rutland High, and Norwich University. Of all the candidates that are up for this office, I believe that I'm the only one that has been a vocal opponent of some of the recent bond issues. I'm a fiscal conservative. I don't bring any wish list to the campaign. My only wish is that we start to have some fiscal conservative ideas and that we exercise some Yankee thrift in our decisions. I recognize that we are a very small city, and I hope others do also. The basics that the city provides are what we should be concerned about. Our government services should be safe streets, clean and healthy public utilities, good education, and not a lot of other wish list items that many proponents seem to think we can afford. We have, in fact, almost 5,000 Social Security recipients in the city of Rutland. We have 5,000 on Medicare and 3,800 school-aged children. Now, if you subtract any two of those figures from our population, you realize that we have to be very fiscally conservative in what we think we can spend and afford. I hope that you can understand some of these issues. And by the way, generally only about 4,000 people vote in these March elections of 11,000 that are registered, meaning that the proponents of any issue can win with 2,400 votes, less than 25% of the population that should be there. So get out and vote your conscience, and vote for the people you want. And when you look at the candidates, look at experience, look at mature judgment, and we hope that the results are what you want them to be. Thank you very much. My name is Howard Cobb.
Hi, my name is Mike Durkin. I'm a candidate for alderman in the city of Rutland. I have the kind of face that a lot of people probably would think that they've seen before, and I thought maybe I might explain where you might have seen me. I was born in Rutland, and I went to St. Peter's School with a lot of people that are still around town. I went to high school at MSJ. Played football, not particularly well, but I did play. And went on to work at a lot of places around town to help pay my way through the University of Vermont, where I graduated in 1979. Did a lot of traveling. I think that's an important thing to mention in an alderman race. I had the opportunity to live in places like Alaska in a small town, and South Dakota on a ranch, and in another small town in Missouri. So I've had the opportunity to see that things are different and the same, and give a little bit more perspective. Other places that you might remember my face, I like to volunteer. I started volunteering probably, I don't know, 1972 or 73 at a center for kids run by the Extension Service. My mother, actually Betty Durkin or Betty Albrico, some people know her, was director, and she actually tried to engage me to start volunteering then. And I think that volunteering as far back then gave me a sense of who I've become now and why I want to be an alderman. Other volunteer activities now include working for the Red Cross as a disaster services health nurse. I've been involved with the Red Cross for 7 or 8 years, working on both large-scale disasters and local disasters. I've been working with the local emergency planning committee with a lot of folks from not only the city but Rutland County on preparing for the disasters to come, as well as working on them when they happen. And I've spent quite a bit of time working with Aair at the Emergency Management Office as operations officer. Currently, I'm an appointee to the Board of Health. As that term will be ending, I was appointed by Mayor Wenberg, and if I become an alderman, I'll be stepping down from that regretfully. At the moment, I work at the Rutland Hospital. I'm an employee health nurse. A lot of people might recognize my face from working as a floor nurse there, or from working serving a lot of our customers in the Rutland City area. I think that being a nurse, especially an employee health nurse, where you deal with the issues of people who work hard, gives a feeling of importance or a sense of urgency for the decisions that are made about the city. I see people every day that basically work very hard and pay taxes and have a lot of concerns, and I think that brings me to the reason that I'd like to be an alderman, and that is that I'd like to be the kind of person that hears. One of the things that I'd like to do most is put together a web page that allows people to utilize that technology to, on a daily basis, say, this bothers me. As far as an agenda is concerned, I don't know that aldermen should have an agenda. It's not about big things in Rutland. It's about us. It's about the people that live here and pay the taxes here. The people that have concerns that I've talked to care about the sidewalks. It's not a huge issue. It's not the kind of issues that makes or breaks nations, but it takes care of the safety of people who walk on them. I care about the streets and try to find a way to work with the DPW. I'd like to see if there's a way to cooperate. I have a couple of friends on the select board of Rutland Town. And finally, I think that we may have missed the boat on the bike path. I'd certainly hope that that's not a dead issue, and I'd like to put some time into that. Thanks for the opportunity to put a name with a face that a lot of you might recognize.
Good day. My name is Walt Wade. I am on the ballot for alderman for the city of Rutland. I've lived in the city for about 19 years. I've been involved in many community activities, respite and crisis work with juveniles. I've coached CYO basketball. I've worked in day treatment and residential programs. And I'm now an in-house and planning room suspension teacher at the Rutland High School and the Tech Center. In my conversations with people around the city, I have found that a common concern is the conditions of our roads and sidewalks, which I believe that we should look at ways of repairing and maintaining on an ongoing basis to make it safer and easier for people to get around our city. Other concerns that I've looked at is budget and ways to actually better use the money that we have rather than looking at cutting manpower or money. Let's find better ways to use what we have. Also, I'd like to be a a voice and an ear for the citizens of Rutland City. I'd like to be accessible where they can call me with any positive or negative concerns about the city and be a go-between between them and the board, the mayor, and other community departments. I believe we need to develop a YMCA or a youth program for our city, giving our youth something to do more positive than hang on the streets. Also to support our families in developing a Rutland of the future. I believe our children today are the most positive resources that we have, and we need to develop positive outlets for them to have families want to stay and grow here in Rutland. I believe the city has really come a long way in the last few years of bringing businesses and jobs to our area. We need to develop a team concept with everyone involved, departments, aldermen, the mayor, Rutland development programs to entice businesses to come into our city. The more we have to offer people as they get out of high school, the better chance we'll have of keeping our own citizens here. Let's make Rutland a positive and strong community for the future and enter the 21st century heading in the right direction. Again, I'm Walt Wade, and I'm running for Alderman for the City of Rutland.
Hi, I'm Phyllis Cheryl Buteau. I am a Rutland native. Like many of the Chioffis, I was born here, raised here, and have stayed here. I will most likely die here. I am running for my first bid for a community political office. That is, one of the 6 seats on the Board of Aldermen. I've been asked many times already by many people, number 1, just what is an alderman? And number 2, just why do I want to do that? To answer question number 1, an alderman is one who makes decisions for the city of Rutland. To answer question number 2, why do I want to be on the Board of Aldermen? Ever since I was asked at the age of 12 years old to help campaign for Mayor Jack Daly, I have had a great interest in politics. Mayor and former Senator Gilly Godnett was also a very good friend of the family, and just going up to visit him in Montpelier was an exciting and fascinating experience for me. Also, at this time in my life, I feel it is a calling to get involved in this city I have cared for so dearly all these years I have lived here. To tell you a few things about myself, and a few things that I'd like to see continue to happen for Rutland, and things to happen for the first time. First off, I'd like to say that I believe Mayor Jeffrey Wenberg has done an excellent, outstanding job for Rutland City. I believe our city has grown in a very positive direction under his leadership, and I'd like to continue that positive growth. Let's bring more businesses to Rutland City. Let's continue to make the roads safer. Let's bring to fruition new roads and accesses, bypasses being proposed. Let's welcome new ideas, concerns, and interests. I am a 1977 graduate of Mount St. Joseph Academy and a graduate of the College of St. Joseph here in Rutland. I received a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration with a major in accounting. I have 10+ years of financial and banking experience. I am a former notary public. I have 6+ years of leadership supervisory in the ski industry, where I am presently employed. And I have 2+ years of restaurant management and supervisory. I am a well-rounded individual with diverse interests and an avid sports fan. I was brought up learning how to be a team player. I would love to see a bike path, whatever we can do for more recreation for the city. Let's bring the arts and entertainment alive in the city. I am all for the Paramount Theater refurbishment. Let's see if we can't provide more interesting things for our young people and families. Maybe we need to turn our center street into a church street marketplace to invite the young people away from hanging out at Walmart. They need places to go and things to do. After all, we have the new transit center that would take the place of the parking on Center Street. With my skills, talents, and experience in the financial arena, as a member of the Board of Aldermen, I'd like to sit on the Financial Committee and keep the checks and balances in check and balanced. Simply, we cannot spend more than we have, and we must keep your priorities in order. Let's fill those many empty commercial buildings. Especially, let's give our police department part of the CVPS building on Wales Street. I want to thank you, Channel 15, and you viewers for this gracious opportunity of airing me and hearing me. Please do get out and vote on Tuesday, March 2nd. Thank you.
I'm Cheryl Mazzarella-Hooker, and I'm running for a seat on Rutland City's Board of Aldermen. The board, along with the mayor, makes up the legislative or lawmaking body of our local government. It sets the rules and policies for the efficient running of our city. Members of the board are elected from the city at large. In the March election, all the candidates run in all 5 city wards. This year, there are 6 seats open. I would like to fill one of those positions. I find working in government fascinating, but I know from experience that it can also be intimidating. Many people are too uncomfortable to approach elected officials. I think everyone should feel at home in City Hall to express their concerns, ask their questions, or offer suggestions on how our hometown should be run. Whether the discussion is on the economy or public safety, education or recreation, the environment or transportation, all of us should have a say in what goes on in Rutland. It's my hope to help make city government more open and accessible to all the people of Rutland, not just a select or even an elected few. Currently, thanks to recent improvements to downtown and the general well-being of the economy, Rutland City seems to be in pretty good shape. The challenge to the new mayor and to the new Board of Aldermen will be to keep Rutland moving forward. This can only be done with the increased involvement of the people who live here. The more people take an interest in community affairs, the better chance we have of coming up with those policies that reflect what the people of Rutland really want. And the only way that this will happen is if people feel comfortable talking to those they elect to represent them. As a state representative and a state senator, I was accessible to the people I represented. As a member of the Board of Aldermen, I'll continue to be accessible to your comments and concerns. I'll be there as your voice in city government. As a lifelong resident of Rutland, I want to see our city thrive. We have the foundation for a very desirable place to live. A safe, clean environment, an excellent school system, a caring community. Now, we have to build on that foundation. I want to work with you to make Rutland the hometown of choice for our children and our grandchildren. If you're over 18 and are not registered to vote, the first step in getting involved is to register. You can do this in several ways. You can go to the city clerk's office at City Hall and ask to register. Beginning Monday, February 15th, you can register as you ride the bus. Call the bus for more information. You can even register to vote when you renew your driver's license. To vote in the March election, though, you must register before Saturday, February 20th. If you find it difficult to get to the polls on voting day, you can call the city clerk's office and ask to have an absentee ballot sent to your house or delivered to your home. If it's just a ride you need, the bus will be offering rides to the polls from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Election Day. Please call the bus by Monday, March 1st to arrange for a ride. I urge each of you, even if you're too young to vote, to read about and listen to the candidates running for office in this election. Ask them questions. This is your hometown, and the question you ask could be the one that prompts the next big step in Rutland City's progress. And if you are old enough to vote, on Tuesday, March 2nd, become a participant in the direction Rutland City takes going into the 21st century. Exercise your right and privilege to vote. It does make a difference. Please call me with questions or suggestions. I'm Cheryl Mazzarello Hooker, and I'm running for a seat on Rutland's Board of Aldermen.
Hello, my name is Roy Thomas. Many of you have come to know me and my wife Michelle and daughter Kayla through the community support of helping my family establish the Justin Thomas Memorial Park in memory of our son. And many of you know me through my 14 years of serving the public in my present job. Now I'd like to continue to serve the public by becoming a proud member of the Rutland City Board of Aldermen. I believe I can help the new administration, the new mayor, make the proper decisions to help keep Rutland moving forward. I believe in short-term as well as long-term thinking. In the short term, we need to find a new home for our police department, continue to work on our sidewalks, and to continue to improve our roads to meet our ever-changing traffic flow. In the long term, we need to work together with our department heads to maintain and fix up our infrastructure. I believe that we can, if we all work together, help to lessen the tax burden of our city residents. On this program, you'll have a chance to listen to myself and 12 other candidates. In this segment, you're going to hear several candidates talk about different views and different things that they will promise to bring to the table. The one thing that I can promise for every resident is that Roy Thomas will offer ears that will listen, a conscience that will speak, a heart that will care, and a mind that will take the time to make the right decision to keep Rutland moving forward to benefit all of his citizens. And I thank you very much.
I'm Christopher Louras, and I'm running for my third term to the Rutland City Board of Aldermen. Along with my brother, sister, and father, I own and operate the family business on Center Street in downtown Rutland. In a nutshell, I'm running again for the Rutland City Board of Aldermen to give the taxpayers another 2 years of what I've given them for the last 4, and that's a common sense, well thought out approach to decision making. I've consistently protected the interests of the taxpayers, supported issues that were good for Rutland, and opposed those issues that I felt were wasteful or unfair. I've gone to bat for residents on a number of occasions when their neighborhoods were being encroached upon by inappropriate uses, and I've fostered the environment that has seen downtown come alive in the last 4 years. I've served as the city's representative to the Marble Valley Regional Transit District, the bus, and protect the city's interest while preserving the service for those who desperately need it. The city needs the leadership and experience that I can provide and bring to the Board of Aldermen, and its citizens need someone who will do the right thing while at the same time protecting the interests of the taxpayers. Thank you.
My name's Dave Coppock, and I'm a candidate for the Rutland City Board of Aldermen. I live on with my wife Claire and our twins Annie and Tom. I've been a resident of the city for 11 years, and I'm a self-employed carpenter. My experience in community affairs includes working on the Rutland County Solid Waste District's Landfill Siting Committee. I've done volunteer work for the Rutland Dismas House. I served for 6 years on the board of the Mountain View Community School. I have been chair of the Rutland Bike Path Committee, and I'm currently a member of the board of the Rutland Area Food Co-op. Traffic is a big concern for Rutland City residents. The long-awaited circulation and signalization project for Main Street is slated to begin this year. This effort should result in a smoother flow of traffic through the city. To add to the effect of this project, I propose that we request a study to be funded primarily by the state to look at traffic calming measures in the city. Now, traffic calming is a relatively inexpensive way to improve traffic flow and increase pedestrian safety, not to mention the positive effect on air pollution. The net result of all these measures could be a significant improvement in traffic flow. I recently read an article that described Rutland's downtown as perhaps Vermont's strongest downtown area. We have a great downtown, and it's truly an engine for the business in our community. To continue this trend, I'd like to see us add to the attractions that will make people want to spend more time in Rutland. The Paramount project will be a key piece of this puzzle, but if we're serious about attracting investors who would be interested in building a hotel downtown, we'll need to do more. I would once again apply for a bike path grant. The experience of Burlington and Stowe prove that bike paths promote business and add to a community's quality of life. In an effort to extend the downtown renaissance to all parts of our city, I would push for changes in our zoning regulations to improve the appearance of our gateway or strip areas, that is South Main Street, North Main, and Woodstock Avenue. Such a plan would eventually result in a city that is completely unique in character, attractive throughout, and enticing to those who would otherwise might not stop and spend their time and money with us. Lastly, as one who regularly walks to do errands and is dependent on good sidewalks, I would lobby strongly for sidewalk repair and snow removal. Walking is a primary form of transportation. Children, senior citizens, and others rely on our sidewalks more than our streets. The ability to walk easily around a town is one of the defining aspects of a true community. I propose that we develop a long-range plan for paving and repaving sidewalks and then stick to it, perhaps even using the proceeds of the Alpine Pipeline Fund to pay for it. With the sidewalks in better condition, shoveling and plowing operations would have better results. Rutland is a great place to live, and I feel fortunate for the good years I have had here. In return, I'm offering to work hard for our city and to bring new ideas and energy to the Aldermanic Board. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Cheryl Franzoni, candidate for Alderman in the city of Rutland. First, I'd like to talk about some of the issues, if I might. And I guess the most important issue that's going on right now is the police station, the new police station, which is to be purchased on Whale Street. And I have some concerns. I'm not against the police having their own facility, but I have some concerns about the grand list and the cost to taxpayers. By removing the telephone building from the grand list, we will have to absorb about a 4-cent increase on the tax rate, which computes to about $40 on a $100,000 home a year. So that's besides the cost of purchasing the building and having the maintenance. I would assume they're going to need a new janitor, and also electrical and heating bills. Those are my concerns. I haven't decided as to how I'm going to vote on this, but I have no problem with the police having their own facility. Another issue is the downtown, which really isn't an issue because it's been handled quite well. I think the downtown is a real asset for the city, and I think in terms of the grand list, it will tend to add to it over the years, and I'm pleased about that. Some of the other things that I'm pleased with is the leadership in City Hall. I think the mayor, and particularly the police, have come a long way since I was previously on the board, and I'm pleased about that. The bus situation, the new terminal, is kind of a problem. They started in by having soil testings which didn't divulge the soil was bad. I'm sure that was a setback, and I'm sure that that cost more money. The other thing I see in this morning's paper is that one of the booths is in wrong and has to be turned around. That all is money out of someone's pocket. And I'm just hoping that it isn't out of the city's pocket. And the final concern that I have is Act 60 and how it relates to the city of Rutland. I have, in my past in politics, some 20 years, it's been my experience when someone gives you something, and that's what they're doing, they're giving us extra money for our schools. They usually take something back, and that sometimes is the most important thing. That gives you the inability to run your own city when the state takes over. And in most cases, the state does supersede the city. I have been in local politics for some 20 years, 4 years as an alderman and 16 years as your city assessor. So I do see my bringing some experience to the board, and I'd also say that after having 7 youngsters, grandchildren in the city school system, I would have very much interest in working closely with the school board, which I think is an excellent body. Also, I would say that the Board of Aldermen has been an excellent board. As I said before, I think the mayor has been a good leader, and they stand to lose some real leadership on that board. There's a possibility of losing 3 of your better aldermen. And so I think experience will be a big thing for the city on the Board of Aldermen. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you to Adolphia Cable and to Channel 15.